everyone, this is Emma and I just want to walk you through my week in the life album setup. Now this is not the complete album because I still have my reason why pages and some highlights and some other bits and pieces. This is just the everyday formula that I set up at the beginning to make this project work for me. I've attempted things like December Daily and I get so caught up in the crafting, trying to make every page different, that I never finish it. And I was determined that this was going to get finished. So I'm using these big screw posts. My album will be a screw post album. I haven't finished it, which is why it kind of looks a bit wobbly, but I will show you the finished thing when I get there. But for now, let's just walk through the everydays. So I've got a camera wobble there, I apologise for that. So I started each day with the transparencies. I did all digital apart from the mini kit. So these are in the mini kit, and what my formula is I have the transparency with the days on. I think these were on vellum in the actual physical kit. These were labels, and I date stamped each day. I use one of these little date stampers because I am absolutely useless at stamping and everything always goes a bit off kilter, and this you just literally just change the date and then just stamp it like a library thing. So that's how I do all of my date stamping. Then I have a hero photo, which is kind of like the biggest story of the day. Then I have some quotes. So every day I put a quote in, and these were things to keep me inspired and motivated to keep this project on track. So this one, for example, says, "Small daily improvements over time create stunning results." Now I didn't take this photo, so I have used some pictures from Unsplash, and these are stamped out on my Dymo, which I'm sure you know, but just in case you don't, is one of these, and I just bought some different coloured tapes from Amazon. It was quite labour intensive, I have to say, it took a long time. Then these were in the mini kit, and I decided to go 5.5 by 5.5 inches, and the reason I chose that size was, firstly, I didn't want something that was going to be really overwhelming, lots of space for lots of journaling that I felt that I was going to need to fill in, and also because I'm in Europe, we use A4 size, and I can fit 2 5.5 square images onto one piece of A4, so that was the reasoning for this size. And what I've tried to do with my album is kind of go from beginning of the day to the end of the day, but all the way through. So these letters, these gold and white letters, chipboard letters, I'm starting with sunrise, and you'll see at the end it finishes with sunset. So there's some kind of process, but sometimes it's not always rigid because some of the other pieces didn't really work for me that way, but we'll get there. So this is the sunrise from my kitchen window. As you can see, it's not particularly stunning, but it is a sunrise. And then my next formula was to set up a grid of photos, and I used my Dynamo again to timestamp when these images were taken. Now this seemed like a good idea at the time, and I am pleased I did it, but it took a really long time, hours. It took me to crunch all these numbers out, cut them, make them small, find the times, put them on. Yeah, I don't know if I'll do it again, but I'm glad I persevered. Then I have one of these pieces which was in the mini kit, and I tried to match them to a photo of the day. Then I have my menu, and this is a digital frame from the history kit, which I just made smaller, printed out, layered it on some more paper just to give it a bit of dimension. Then I wrote out what my to-do list was, and again, date stamped it, sorry. The news from the day and the weather. And then I used the stamp kit, this one, if I can get to it here, with these different stamps. I use one every single day, and I just stamped it, and then on the back I just wrote a little bit of information about what I was reading, and I used some tabs, I don't know where, I printed those out myself and cut them out on my silhouette, and then just put a little word phrase on here. And what I tried to do was match the word phrase colour to the stamp colour, and make it relevant, but that's not always possible. And to be honest, if you get caught up in too many details, you will never finish. Then this was also in the mini kit, and again I tried to match this to the actual image. So this was the sunny day, it was the beginning of the day. This stamp here was from this kit again, and I tried to match this colour to this colour, or some continuity between them. And then I also had these stamps, and I used them to stamp across the top. So that says Monday, you can hardly see it, but it's pink, matches the pink heart, which was from a digital kit. And then inside this little wallet, and I just made this wallet myself, and then the inside is some journaling. These are the tags that you can get, the Avery tags, and I just used some Heidi Swap alphas on the top of there, and I tried to make it kind of relevant to what the story was, or what the main story of the day was. These are a bit snug to get in, I found, so just bear with me where I squeeze that back in. And I just put a little bit of crease in here just to make it look more like a folder. And then on the back there is nothing. And I did think about whether I would put something there, and I kind of felt I already had a lot to do. And actually it kind of creates the division between that day and the next day. So from now on it'll all be the same. So we have our date, our transparency, the big story of the day, a little quote at the AM one, what I was doing, my photos, a related photo to the emblem here, what we ate, the news, my to-do list, the weather, and listening was the next one. I put comfort zone there because listening to Glennon Doyle's We Can Do Hard Things I love that so much. Then early, and then we've got home life as a stamp, and some Tuesday, and then some journaling, which I won't get out because we'll be forever taking it back in. And then it just goes on. So the story, the hero story of the day was the fact that it took me forever to get everything done. So it was like by the time I actually sat down to have something to eat, it was 10 to 3. I know many of us will feel some kind of relationship with that scenario. Oh, and then on the back of these, sorry, I should have said before, I just cut out a similar shape and then just stuck the little phrases, and I tried to make them match. They don't particularly always match. This one says, Mama said there would be days like this. And yes, this was one of those days. Wednesday was a difficult day. Then there's a quote, morning, more photos, me with my infrared mask on because I'm trying to do the impossible and reverse my age. To-dos, the news, eating, good morning, and feck off Wednesday because it was such a difficult day. And then we've got Thursday. The hero story was all of my subscribed items turning up from Amazon, and there was many broken things. So that was another thing that did not go right this week. And this one says, taking a deep breath after a long day. And this was another challenging day. Cleaning out the cupboards. Exercising, I hate exercising, all sorts of things like that. It was a foggy day today. To-dos, the news, and this story is about me learning to use my new camera that I bought. And then wide awake, and then soggy boxes, which was the story about all the Amazon stuff getting broken. And then Friday, this is the strange hero photo because I just saw these in my supermarket and I just love the aesthetics of them. So I bought them, even though I don't really eat pasta. I just love them so much. So I just brought me joy. So it's my picture. Then we've got nighttime, more images, wine, what we were eating and doing, and the weather, making. Late, so this late story was about watching TV late at night, and the Stand Up to Cancer British Bake Off with David Schwimmer from Friends, and it was absolutely hilarious. Watch it, it's worth it. And then Friday, Mama Shop. So every 3 months, this is getting a bit waffly, isn't it? Every 3 months I do a huge shop where I go to the wholesalers and I get loads of stuff to try and save money. Then on the Saturday we went to this new place, so this is the hero story about a date night. More inspiring quotes, evening, pictures. Now on this one you can see there's one long one. It's because I was starting to run out of pictures, so I literally just had to chuck something else in, and that's okay, that's fine. Our dinner, the same thing. And then what I'm loving is my little craft corner. Sleepy is my dog Edith. I love her so much. And then the story was about date night. And then Sunday was, this is the Heroes to a Book of Answers, because we just find this book hilarious, and I hope that's not offensive to anyone. The sunset. Now this is a bit of a cheat. I did take this photo, but it wasn't at the end of the week, but the sun, there was just literally no sunset. So I took a picture that I had taken, I think it was late last year. And I don't care. It is a sunset and it is my picture. And then more pictures. Nighttime reading, what we were doing, what we were watching. The last one of these, and this sort of spins around, and there's us in bed. It says good evening and good night. And then Sunday, and then that is the end of that. So there is more to go in, but I just wanted to share where I am up to right now. The reason that these are, just in case anyone wants to know, these are like pocket pages. Not actual pocket pages, but the things that you put filing in. I'll just grab one. I should have thought about this earlier, sorry. These things, and I just cut them up because a pocket page in where I live, you can get 10 for £5, which is basically 50p each, and that is just way too expensive for me. So I use these with the fuse thingy, not very successfully sometimes, but I also use them to create these things. And the reason they need to be in there is because if you don't have a crease, it won't turn. And then, or you either have to try and crease them, and that can be quite, can cause some damage on photos, and they don't always properly crease anyway. You have to put these little spaces in between the pages, so that otherwise this is far more bulkier than this would be. And I still might need to put some more spaces in, but we'll see how we go. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that. Any questions, put them in the comments below and I'll get back to you. Thank you.